Beyond the Mic with Sean Dillon.
We're joined on the Starline by an up-and-coming actor. You've seen him in He's All That, Hacks, George and Mandy's First Marriage, and Game Shakers. His latest project is the science fiction adventure, The Wayfinders on Angel Studios. We welcome Evan Nikolas Fields.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. That was great.
Evan, let's go beyond the mic. Like your character, Flynn Griffin, you've been hiding in plain sight. How has the character Flynn given you the opportunity to shine?
You know, it's been great. You know, he definitely gave me the opportunity to shine because this is my first series regular role. And, you know, being able to play him among everyone else in the show has been incredible.
Who are you closer to in real life, Big Chonkas or Flynn?
Recently, Big Chonkas. I've been really into this game called Arc Raiders. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I've been really channeling that Big Chonkus, you know, being more aggressive than passive while playing. So I'll definitely say Big Chonkus.
What's your best part about having that confidence come out?
I think the best part is kind of the opposite. You know, I'm kind of put in the same boat as Flynn where, you know, he doesn't feel as confident himself and he doesn't trust in his abilities. And being that this is my first series regular show, I feel like at the start, I didn't trust in my abilities as much. So I felt like we were in the same boat in that sense. But, you know, over time and through shooting the show, I definitely gained more confidence within my skills, I feel.
PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox. I've never had a PlayStation. My Nana bought me my first Xbox and I've never gone back.
When reading the script, how did your opinion of the word loyalty change or evolve?
It's a great question. I would say it changed in the way where sometimes you don't get loyalty right off the bat and, you know, you definitely have to build it. Mm-hmm. And even if that person isn't as loyal to you at first, that doesn't mean they will always be unloyal to you.
Other than your family and agents, who do you trust the most right now?
Probably my really good friend, Sammy.
Why?
You know, we hang out all the time. We, you know, kind of have, you know, the same mannerisms, the same kind of family upbringing, the same sense of humor. So I feel like I could definitely go to him and trust him. It's
Evan Nikolas Fields joining us beyond the mic. How did the bond with Tamara and Vincent grow as you shot season 1?
It's a great question. I feel like it's kind of like school, you know, when you're surrounded by the same people every single day, you have to form a bond with them, whether it's, you know, negative or positive. Obviously, this one's positive. They're great friends and, you know, we definitely live all around. But whenever we're in the same area, we definitely hang out. I mean, Vince, he's from South Carolina. Anytime he's down here, we always hang out. You know, T's from London. Anytime she's, you know, in the Los Angeles area, we always hang out. I think last time she was here, we went to Chili's. You know, they don't have those out there. We had a triple dipper. It was a great time. And yeah, I think we're just great. Even after the show, me and Vince, we went on a little Euro bro trip. The show was shot in Ireland, if you didn't know. But we had a little we were basically thinking, why would we go back? So we kind of had like a little Euro bro trip and we went to Dublin. We went to London. We visited everyone else in the cast. We went to Paris. It was great.
What was the best part about the trip?
Probably just meeting different people and the same people. I mean, we shot this in Limerick, Ireland, and when we took the train to Dublin, mm-hmm. there were a few people on crew who lived in Dublin. So we met up with head of hair. His name's Peter. And then we met up one of the stunt coordinators as well. And we all just had a great time. They showed us around. So definitely just hanging with the same people in a different light other than just like hanging out with them on set.
Evan Nikolas Fields joins us beyond the mic from the Wayfinders on Angel Studios. And it's time for the Rocking 8, Evan.
Okay.
This is 8 random questions. Trust your first instinct. There is absolutely no pressure.
Okay. No pressure, no wrong answer. Right?
When on set, no wrong answer.
Okay.
When on set, what's the one thing at craft services when shooting in Ireland that you love to eat?
Bananas.
Why?
It's just, you know, when you're there early in the morning and you don't want to have an upset stomach, you don't want to eat anything too heavy, I think banana is just perfect. You know, it's a handheld, you can peel it, you can put it down anywhere. You know, if you're close around other people during set or like filming or not, you won't have bad breath. It's the perfect start to day snack, breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
I know you're an incredible cook. What's your secret dish to cook that you're better than everyone than making?
Okay. I would say just because I made it so many times, I can make it on a dime without burning anything. Probably panko crusted whitefish over saffron rice with avocado salad.
Wow.
You thought I was going to say like scrambled eggs or something?
I was just looking back and going, let's see. Everyone keeps on saying the boy can cook. You had me at saffron rice.
I love saffron rice.
Very nice. How many energy drinks do you drink in a day?
I usually don't, but when I was on set, I definitely had a few sugar-free Red Bulls.
Who has better hair, you or your mom?
I have to say my mom.
You always got to take care of mom.
You always have to say mom. It's in the contract.
Yeah, because remember, she brought you into this world. She can take you out.
Exactly.
How many Scooby-Doo episodes have you seen in your life?
Not including the movies, I've probably seen 12. Cartoon Network.
If you weren't an actor, what skill would you have liked to have for a fallback option?
Definitely something creative, maybe architecture.
Why?
I don't know. Before I wanted to be an actor, I always told people I wanted to be an architect. I just enjoyed buildings and drawing. But then once I got older, I realized there's a lot of math involved, and that was my worst subject. And, I didn't want to build a building kind of like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, so I kind of just backed off.
What's the last movie you've seen?
The last movie I've seen, I rewatch Ocean's 11. It's like my favorite movie.
So when you're having a movie night and you're having popcorn, what is in your popcorn?
It's a great question. I'm original butter salt, easy.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Very nice. Evan Nikolas Fields joins us from the Wayfinders. Time for the back half. All of these main characters fight conflicts, what they want, and what they need. How does acting feel like this fight all over again?
That's a great question. I would just say definitely, because I started in theater. So, when you're on stage, everything is big and broad. But if you do that on camera, it kind of looks ridiculous. So you definitely have to, be in the moment and then stay grounded. So I think those are like the two parallels I deal with in acting, especially on this show, just because, you're surrounded by things bigger than life and you're in a fantasy world and, there's warlocks and werebears and people doing magic. So I think you have that end. And then you also have the end of just staying grounded within your character. So I think those are the two things that clash. But, there could be beauty in that, and it's definitely a challenge. And, once you get over that hump, I think it's a great balance.
What was the first Broadway show you ever saw live?
First Broadway show I saw live was Hamilton at the Pantages.
Nice. How has the beauty of Ireland and shooting Wayfinders in Ireland changed the way you see LA?
There's definitely a lot more culture in Ireland that goes back thousands of years. When the locals tell you about it, it's beautiful. When we went to Dublin, Peter took us in this 1,000-year-old building, and there's nothing like that in Los Angeles. Not saying that there isn't culture, but it's just something different in Ireland. It's very cool and fascinating, especially shooting in 1,000-year-old castles and things in that nature. It definitely goes way back than you could ever think.
Evan Nikolas Fields joins us beyond the mic. Evan, tell me about reading for the role, that first read, and the nerves of that day. You're reading for a major piece, for a series star. How did that day take place?
Through the auditioning process, or once I got
the first audition. You get there and they're like, okay, here's your script. You're going to be reading for Flynn. Go.
Great. So that's a good question. So I did a self-tape for it. And if I'm being honest, I was in Hawaii with my parents because they were renewing their vows. Aww. And my mom had this whole itinerary planned. I mean, it was printed out. It was given to myself and my father. And, obviously it was filled with things to do. You don't
You
want to miss.
cannot, again, you don't mess with mom.
Exactly. You don't go against the itinerary. So I was just thinking to myself, should I do it? Should I not? And then my girlfriend ended up flying in a couple of days later, and her and my mom were basically saying, just do it. It doesn't matter. So I read it once or twice. I was like, we'll shoot it in the bathroom because there's good lighting in there. Basically, was like, we'll do it for 30 minutes. If it comes out great, if it doesn't, great. We're in Hawaii. How can this be bad? So I shot it in the bathroom in Hawaii in our hotel room and sent it off and kind of forgot about it. And that's how I was kind of taught, or like my friends who are in the business say, is just do the audition and then forget about it. If you get it, great. If you don't, great. And that's kind of how I looked at it. But deep down, I saw the location of filming in Ireland, and I never filmed out of the country. So deep down, I was like, well, I hope I get a call back. But on the surface, I was more like, if we get it, great. If we don't, great.
Where were you when you got that call? When you got the call that says, Evan Nikolas Fields. Oh, sorry, I'm not calling you by the right name. It's Flynn. Tell me about getting that call.
It felt great. Feels like so long ago, but I was at home. I just got a call from, my agent, my manager, and, it was a three-way call, and they just wished me congratulations on the part. And, we got to get your visa in order and make sure your passport isn't expired yet because, you're going to Ireland. And, it was a really cool experience, and it was fun. And, I think my mom and dad took me out on like a celebratory dinner. It was a great day for sure.
So who'd you tell first? Or was mom and dad both there at the same time?
Mom and dad were both there at the same time. So that was good. No one felt, left out.
What did Sammy say when you got the role?
So Sammy, he was excited. He's cool. He was actually an actor before me. We kind of met through school and seeing each other at auditions. So he was elated. He's not really an actor anymore. He switched fields. He's like going to be a therapist. He was super elated and happy, and maybe just a little bummed because we play Xbox together, and I wouldn't be able to be his Xbox partner for like 4 or 5 months. But we were able to go through that.
How did being a student all over again in that first episode make you feel? It's the whole concept of, oh, I'm out of school. I don't want to be back in school again, even for acting.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I definitely try to use it to my advantage. I look a bit younger, but, school, it wasn't terrible for me, but obviously like most, I really didn't want to be there. So I kind of felt the same way, but obviously I wanted to be here in that moment. So this was a way better school experience. I guess school in quotes.
School.
Yeah.
The Impossible Question with Evan Nikolas Fields. Evan, how has overcoming fear helped you become a better actor?
It's a great question. Overcoming fear definitely helped me as an actor because I think, you just become stronger as a person. And, as you become stronger as a person, I think you believe in yourself and your abilities more. And, as an actor, I feel like that's very important to, trust in yourself and trust in your abilities and, trust in your actions, and whatever you do, on film stays. So, you should, be confident in your decisions.
From the first episode, quote, "You better face reality." Your line, "Because reality is so great," unquote.
Yes.
How has the way you see the art of making a series in Hollywood different now with the Wayfinders?
Definitely. I mean, cop-out answer, it's a lot more work than you think. I'll say that. Long days and nights, but from the other end of the spectrum, I think it's beautiful to be a part of something much bigger than yourself and to see the end result and how much work everyone puts in. I think it's just very beautiful, and it's something, you can leave the world and, years along the line, if you have children or grandchildren, you could, show them this thing you've been a part of. And I think that's really a cool aspect, especially in our field. A lot of other fields, although they are great, you can say you did these things, but can't really show them. And this is something you can physically see and physically hear, and it's something you've been a part of. So I think it's a beautiful thing.
What made working with Angel Studios and your cast and crew better than any other experience you've had, other than it was in Ireland?
Yeah, that's a great question. I just think, they trust in our vision. Angel Studios is great because they definitely trust in the vision and, whatever we come up with, they definitely trust in the vision and, they're with us 100% of the way.
What do you want people to take away from the Wayfinders?
Another good question. I want people to take away something from each character, something that can relate to their own life. And, maybe if they had a hard day, they could just, turn it on and kind of relax and turn off their mind.
Which thing do you want them to take away from T's character?
I think she's someone who, pushes people away because, she doesn't feel confident within herself. So I would say keep people close and, be more open than you think, even if you are, feel like you're closed-minded.
And Vincent's character?
Vincent, he's funny on and off screen. He definitely has this arc where he feels that he's living someone else's dream other than his own. So honestly, I hope people take away that is, live for yourself.
And definitely your character.
My character. Definitely trust in your abilities and, the people around you make you stronger and, don't take that for granted,
How has your trust grown? Your trust in yourself?
I think my trust has grown exponentially through this series, just, being around, the cast and crew. Before I started in theater, I really got into it through like an improv class. Mm-hmm. And like the first thing they teach you in improv is you never deny anyone else's idea. So if you're in a scene together and someone has an idea and you say no, my teacher would stop the scene and be like, never deny someone else's creativity. So I think on this series, trusting other people's creativity and trusting their ideas for you to just go with the flow and go with it, I think it adds more beauty to the story.
Yes, and?
Yes.
Best story growing up with your Nana that changed you forever?
Wow. That's heavy hitting.
We don't call this Beyond the Mic for nothing, brother.
It's definitely Beyond the Mic. There's a lot. So my Nana, she like moved around a lot, but she lived in this apartment in Sherman Oaks and she had a pet squirrel and we named him Bobo. And he was a wild squirrel. It wasn't like domesticated or anything. But my Nana kept feeding it like walnuts and peanuts. And literally it would come like she lived upstairs, but it was outside. So it was like outside staircase. So every day the squirrel would go all the way up the staircase and she had a screen door. So, when you hit a screen door, it's fairly loud. The squirrel would bang on the screen door for nuts. And my Nana would open it and the squirrel knew not to go in. And I would, literally have the walnut in my hand and the squirrel would ever so gently just grab it out of my hand, run away and go bury it and then come back for another. So that's one of the very cool stories. That's on the top of my head. There's a lot more, but that's the one that comes to mind.
It's always about Nana that changes you.
Definitely.
How difficult is it for you when your show has so much digital effects? They might give you something and go, hey, look at this. It's on a stick and it's like 6 feet higher than you. And you have to go, you have to
Definitely.
Act.
I would say, like I said before, just trusting in the people around you. Sometimes when you're having an off day, I kind of just look at the people around me on screen, their reaction, and just play off that. But you're right. You're kind of playing to like a tennis ball on a stick just to get an eye line. But I think, when you remember the days where you used to, play make-believe and things like that. It's kind of just trying to getting back into that sort of playfulness and like adolescence.
What's one tip you would give someone who is just starting out acting to help them not give up?
I would definitely say, like, for me, don't take anything too serious at all. When you're going in for auditions, obviously you're going to get more no's than you are yeses, and you just can't take anything to heart. It has nothing to do with your acting ability or integrity whatsoever. It could be something so minuscule as in, oh, he was great, but unfortunately we do need someone with blonde hair for this role. So I would just say don't take anything to heart.
Evan, how has your motivations as an actor changed from when you first started?
I would definitely say more confidence. When you first start, you're a bit green and, going through the motions of audition after audition, you kind of get in the pattern of what you need to do and certain traits you need to have. So I would definitely say confidence.
Why has overcoming adversity and overcoming no, and finally getting the yes to the Wayfinders change you?
Well, I think if you got that yes right away, you wouldn't be as, grateful as you would be if, you didn't go through adversity with getting the no's first. So I think it definitely helps getting a lot of no's first, just because, it definitely makes you more grounded, I would say. But, facing adversity just, makes you more blessed and grateful for the opportunities that you do get the yeses on, for sure.
How is working with Glenn Winter, your director, different than any other director you've worked with?
Glenn is great. I think working with him is definitely different than any director I've worked with in the past, just because he was like a director of photography first before he was a director. So he definitely has a shot in mind, and it's so crystal clear to him. And, you kind of want that in a director. Like if, in the script, if it says you're going off the cliff, you're really going off the cliff. So I think, having that trust in him and him having that trust in us and, him directing the scenes definitely helped me as an actor, for sure.
If you could write it, what would you like in the future for Flynn and the Wayfinders?
It goes against his moral compass, but, watching the series, he definitely is more passive than everyone else. So I would say maybe in the future, he does fight off of a person or two or things in that nature. So I would say definitely being more aggressive rather than passive.
It's Big Chonkas.
Yes, that's his alter ego. So maybe, that really comes to life through him.
Time for one big question with Evan Nikolas Fields beyond the mic. We all have dreams for success, happiness in life. How has this series changed the way you see your own success and future?
I would say that it definitely changed my successes, definitely just working hard in order to get the next thing, and just being grateful and blessed for every opportunity that comes my way, for sure.
Where can people find the Wayfinders?
They could find it on the Angel app.
Very nice. He shot his audition in the bathroom in Hawaii. His nana had a pet squirrel and wants you to watch The Wayfinders on Angel Studios. Evan Nikolas Fields, thanks for taking the time to talk with us today.
Thank you so much, Sean. I appreciate it. I love the questions.
And that, my friends, is Beyond the Mic.